Imagine standing in a place where freezing winds whip at 160 kilometers per hour and the thermometer plunges to minus 50 degrees Celsius. This is the Siachen Glacier, the coldest and highest battlefield on Earth. This topographical map shows the glacier as a 74-kilometer stretch of mountainous ice, wedged directly between China to the east and Pakistan to the west. Simply existing at this altitude wages war on human biology. Troops face hypoxia, a condition where the body suffocates on a fraction of the oxygen available at sea level. Without enough air, they risk high-altitude pulmonary or cerebral edema, fatal fluid buildup in the lungs or brain. Yet Indian soldiers maintain control over 100 positions scattered across these peaks, some reaching 22,000 feet into the sky. And out here, there are 0 roads. Look at these tiny tents dwarfed by the ice. Every single item required to keep the human body functioning in this environment, from kerosene for heat to dehydrated meals to ammunition and medical supplies, must be brought in from the outside. Because the ground is impassable, the Indian Air Force operates a complex chain of supply flights that defy standard aviation logic to keep these ground forces alive. Moving that much cargo up the mountain begins at sea level. The first leg of this supply chain starts at Hindon Air Base in Uttar Pradesh, sitting at an elevation of just 700 feet. The C-17 Globemaster III is a massive military cargo plane powered by 4 jet engines. It can swallow up to 77 tons of material in a single load. This data shows the efficiency of air transport. Moving 45 tons of supplies to the mountain bases by road requires 25 trucks and a full week of driving. A single C-17 accomplishes the task in 50 minutes. This sea-level hauling capacity becomes useless if the cargo cannot be moved from the valley floor up into the hostile mountain peaks. Leh Air Force Base, at 10,682 feet, is the high-altitude gateway to Siachen. Here, the bulk shipments from the C-17s are broken down and transferred to smaller craft. The cargo moves on to Mi-17 V5 helicopters. These are heavy-duty workhorses designed to push tons of material higher into the mountain ranges. Maintaining these machines takes a brutal toll on ground crews. Mechanics work on flight lines where removing a glove can result in skin instantly freezing to sub-zero metal and peeling right off. The mountains dictate the schedule. Dynamic, unpredictable weather systems routinely roll through the valleys, dropping visibility and grounding flights for days at a time. While crews can wait out the storms, the hardest physical barrier of the glacier, the rarefied air, lies directly ahead. The mid-17s stop here because the landing zones higher on the glacier are microscopic, 20-foot ledges known to pilots as matchboxes. For the final climb, the Siachen pioneers rely on the cheetah, a nimble, skeletal machine weighing barely 2 tons, specifically designed for these extreme heights. Helicopters fly by pushing dense air particles downward to generate an upward force called lift. Above 20,000 feet, the atmosphere thins dramatically, leaving little material to push against. Pilots must wedline their engines, using maximum power just to stay airborne. Pilots also face whiteouts, where the blinding snow of the glacier bleeds perfectly into the cloudy sky, erasing the horizon line entirely. Flying at these heights requires threading the needle while practically blind. In medical emergencies, a pilot must navigate this thin air to extract a suffocating soldier before the lack of oxygen becomes fatal. Pilots prepare for engine failure by attending survival school, learning to carve igloos from packed snow and brew pine needle tea for nutrition in case they are stranded on the ice. To earn the Glacier Captain badge, a trainee must execute a flawless pillow landing, setting a struggling helicopter down onto a microscopic snowy ridge with no margin for error. This certification proves a human has mastered the absolute limits of aviation and survival. It is a chain of momentum reaching from 77-ton cargo planes at sea level to fragile cheetah helicopters touching down on the ice. The Indian Air Force delivers the base requirements for life, heat, food, and oxygen, into an environment designed to extinguish it. For an isolated soldier at 22,000 feet, the distant hum of a helicopter rotor is the literal sound of hope.